Hey guys, this is Chris, Tabletop Sports Delaware, and we are continuing our 1979 National League East Division race between the Montreal Expos and the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2 3-game series are all that remain of the season. Montreal is hosting Philadelphia at Olympic Stadium, and the Pirates are hosting the Cubs at Three Rivers. Thought I would do a little rundown of the project so far. I've added win-loss for each team in the project, so we'll pay some particular attention to that. I mean, it kind of plays into it. But we started the project as of September 16th. The Expos were 87-57, Pirates were 88-58, and the Expos had a half-game lead at that point. They had their head-to-head series. They split it. Expos took 2 of 4 against the Mets. Pirates took 2 of 3 against the Phillies. Then the Expos took 2 out of 3 against the Phillies, and the Pirates lost 2 of 3 against the Cubs. And at this point, Expos were 92-61, and Pirates 92-62, half game down. And then the 4-game series that we just completed a couple of days before. Pittsburgh actually won this series in real life. They won 3 out of 4 games, and they did the same thing here, and the same games, as a matter of fact. So far during the project, at the end of the series, Pittsburgh is only 7-6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7-6. So I counted an extra loss in up here somewhere. 6 and 5. 5 and 5, and 5 and 4. So Pittsburgh is 7-6 so far during the chase, and the Expos are 6-7 during the chase. Neither team is stepping up and saying, "Okay, we got this." And this is how this project went all the way down to the wire. I believe the Pirates had a 1-game lead on the final day, and they beat the Cubs, and the Phillies came back and beat the Expos. If I recall correctly. I may not. But anyway, just wanted to show how the project is going so far. 7-6, 6-7. That seems pretty even there. I've played every single game. I've played every single at-bat for every single team. And with the boffo of the Pirates and Cubs game here, that I really tore it up, and maybe one decision for Montreal, which didn't make a difference at one point. I think this first game here. Yeah, done really good with it. I'm pleased. I'm happy. It's going well. And like I said, I got back to Strat, and it's amazing. I mean, I'm rejuvenated. I'm ready to go. I look forward to these games. Not like another APBA, which I love APBA, but for something like this, I don't know it well enough for it to be a successful recording. Payoff pitch, same. I love payoff pitch, but this is it. I know Strat. I've been playing Strat for almost 30 years. So, without any further ado, and the little jaunt there, I digress. Let's play some baseball. Let's get our starting lineups for the evening, and then we'll get right down to brass tacks. Your defensive arrangement for the Expos: Tony Perez, first base. Rodney Scott, second base. Shortstop, Chris Spire. Third base, Larry Parrish. Left field, Warren Cromartie. Center field, Andre Dawson. Right field, Ellis Valentine. Catcher is John Tamargo for this game, and your starting pitcher, David Palmer. And with 2 more games, not much left, Steve Rogers starts the final game for the Expos. Next to last game is going to be started by the Spaceman, Bill Lee. So here we go. Phillies starting lineup. Batting first base, Pete Rose. Batting second, shortstop, Larry Boa. Batting third, right field, Bate McBride. Batting fourth, third base, Mike Schmidt. Batting fifth, center field, Greg Gross. Batting sixth, left field, John Poff. Batting seventh, catcher, Keith Moreland. Batting 8th, second base, Bud Harrelson. Batting 9th, starting pitcher for the Phillies will be Dickie Noles for this game. And their final two pitchers are going to be Randy Lurch and then a lefty to close it out against Steve Rogers. Alrighty, that is said and done because I done said it. Let's play some baseball. Phillies come up top of the first here at Olympic Stadium. Again, Expos are 93 and 64. And they are a half game behind the Pirates. Yep, 1 half game back, 3 to go. All right, Pete Rose is set. Palmer with the pitch. 1-7 pops it up on the left side of the infield. Tony Perez gets underneath it and makes the catch. Out number 1. Larry Boa comes to the plate. 4-7, and that's low on that skinny split. Hard liner to the left side. Larry Parrish gets his glove on it. 2 away. Bake McBride comes to the plate. Palmer with the pitch. 4-9, and that is a 2-out single for McBride. He is on first. Not going to try to steal with 2 outs. Or will he? Nah. Mike Schmidt at the plate. 4-8, and that's a strikeout. Michael Jack is swinging at the knee cheese. No runs plated for Philadelphia. We go to the bottom of the inning here in Montreal. This game was played originally on Friday, September 28th, 1979 at Olympic Stadium, and the Phillies won this game by a score of 3-2. So we will see how it goes. Had to make a card for Dickie Noles. He was not carded in the 1979 original set that I have. Tried to get as close as I could. He had a 3.80, so I gave him an average ERA. Average control, 38 walks in 90 innings. Poor on this card for strikeouts, but he had 42 strikeouts, so I gave him a couple of extra periphery strikeouts here and there. He was 3-4 overall, so we'll see how this card works. Also downgraded the home run there on the 8. It's a 1 instead of a 1-8. So let's see how this goes. Warren Cromartie is set. 6-9. Hard liner up the middle, and Larry Boa is there. Makes the catch. Out number 1. Rodney Scott is set. Here comes the pitch from Dickie Noles. That's going to be a 6-10, and Scott is on with a walk. And Scott is going to steal second. 116. 18. Gunned down by Keith Moreland. I did not see that one coming. 2-4. Caught stealing. Andre Dawson, 2 outs. Top of the first. And that is a 5-10. Sorry about that. Fly ball to center field, and Greg Gross gets underneath it and makes the catch. No hits. Nobody scores. We go to the second inning. And Dave Palmer comes up. He's going to face Greg Gross, John Poff, and Keith Moreland. Played so many games with the Expos being the away team. It's weird seeing their batting cards up here instead of down here. You wouldn't think that makes much of a difference, but it kind of does. Put them down here. That way we can actually keep score. Alrighty, Greg Gross leading the inning off. Palmer is set. 5-4, and that is going to be on Tamargo. And pops it up foul. Tamargo gets underneath it. Makes that catch. 1 away. John Poff, 4-4. Hard grounder hit to second base. Rodney Scott is there. Gets it cleanly over to Tony Perez. Out number 2. Keith Moreland to the plate. Here's the pitch from Palmer. 5-10. Hard grounder hit to Chris Spire at short. Scoops it up, gets it over to Tony Perez. And 1-2-3 go the Phillies in the top of the second. Go to the bottom of the bracket, and the Expos are coming up. Dickie Noles will face Tony Perez, John Tamargo, and Alice Valentine in this inning. And in order to get my stats and everything to estimate Dickie Noles' card, I used baseballreference.com, sports game simulator, and baseball fans' best friend. These are the old blank cards from strat-o-matic. I bought like 10 sets of them, so that way if something came up, I'd be able to make a card close to somebody, use as little whiteout as possible. Tony Perez, and by the way, for the project, the Expos and Pirates are from the 1970s Diamonds Gem sets. So, yeah. Noles at the pitch, 1-10. Hard grounder hit to third. Schmidt comes up with it, fires it over to Rose. That is one away. John Tamargo to the plate. Dickie Noles with the pitch. 5-8. Fly ball to center field. That one. Greg Gross camps out underneath it. Out number 2. And Alice Valentine. Noles wants to stay off his 3 column. Does so. 4-5 with a strikeout. So the Expos go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. Scoreless. We go to the top of the third. See if we can't blast through a little bit of baseball hairs. Dave Palmer is set. He will face Bud Harrelson. Dickie Noles, and back to the top for Pete Rose. Palmer is set. The pitch, 3-8, and Harrelson works a walk. Brings us to Dickie Noles. I assign him the number 1 batting card. He batted 100 during the season. Let's drop down a little, lay down a bunt, and Noles drops it down to first base line. Charging in is Perez. Only time to go to Scott covering to get Noles. That'll advance Harrelson to second with 1 out. 3-4 sack. All right, Pete Rose is up. Runner on second. 1 out. 4-7. Skinny split and missed it. Hardliner on the left side, and Larry Parrish is there. Proven very adept at getting those line drives, preventing the base hits. 2 outs. Larry Boa at the plate. 1-9. Hard ground ball hit to second. Rodney Scott is there. Goes over to Perez for out number 3. Phillies score none in the top of the third. We get to the bottom of the inning. Alrighty. Think. Needed to make noise. Dickie Noles. He will face... It's so weird putting the Expos up there. Larry Parrish, Chris Spire, and Dave Palmer. And here comes the pitch. 3-5. Fly ball to center field. This one is back. Greg Gross is towards right center. Calls off Bake McBride. Makes the catch. Out number 1. 1 fly ball to Gross in the first 3 innings here. Chris Spire. 1 away. Scoreless. Bottom of the third. 4-5. And that's going to be a strikeout. Noles second. Never know, this could be his game. Brings up David Palmer, 2 outs. And that's a 5-6 fly ball to left field. Popped up on his horse, John Poff. And gets in there and makes the catch. And nothing doing for the Expos. We go to the 4th inning. Your score is tied at 0. Philadelphia Phillies and Montreal Expos here at Olympic Stadium. On Friday, September 28th, 1979. Weather getting a little cooler. Thoughts are towards the postseason. Football. School is back in full swing. So here we go. Bake McBride. Right fielder facing Dave Palmer. 6-5. Strikes him out. Palmer's second of the affair. Mike Schmidt. That is a 2-9. Draws a walk. So Schmidt gets on base. Had 120 walks in 1979. Greg Gross at the plate. Dave Palmer is set. Man on, man out. 1-10. Pops it up center of the infield. Rodney Scott is there. Calls off Spire. Makes the catch for out number 2. Scoreless, top of the 4th. Expos and Phillies. And John Poff comes to the plate. And here we go. Dave Palmer is set. He rocks and fires. 4-7. That card has been coming up a lot. That 4-7 with that one single there. That's a liner on the left side, and Larry Parrish with his 3rd stab, preventing the balls from reaching Warren Cromartie on the ground. 3rd out, scoreless, going to the bottom of the 4th, and Dickie Noles comes up to the plate, and he will face the top of the Expos order in Warren Cromartie, Rodney Scott, Andre Dawson. Noles is set. Cromartie digs in. The pitch. 4-12. Hard ground ball back to the box. Noles handles it. Gets it over to Pete Rose for out number 1. Rodney Scott now, second baseman. Drew a walk last time but was caught stealing. Noles with the pitch. 5-8 fly ball to center field. This one hit at Greg Gross. 4th inning. 4th put out in center field. 2 away, and that brings us to Andre Dawson. 5-12. Fly ball to right. They're spreading it around a little bit this time. This one is back. Bate McBride. Not quite to the warning track. Settles underneath, makes the catch, and we have ourselves a nice old-fashioned pitcher's duel going on here. Scoreless. We go to the top of the 5th. 1 hit so far for the Phillies. Not going to say how many for the Expos, but you can see it's not a lot. David Palmer comes in, top of the 5th. Keith Moreland, Bud Harrelson, Dickie Noles in this inning. Moreland is set. Palmer with a pitch. 1-9, and there is a double for Keith Moreland. Second base hit for the Phillies, and they've got someone in scoring position. Palmer has walked 2, allowed 2 hits. Top of the 5th, scoreless. Brings up Bud Harrelson. That is a 1-9, and that's going to be a fly ball to left field. That one into Warren Cromartie. Out number 1. And we have Dickie Noles. He's going to swing away on this at bat. 1-4 strikeout. Could have moved him over to 3rd, but Pete Rose, he could score him from 2nd regardless. Got a lot of 2-star singles on his card. Palmer, here's the pitch. 2-10, and nope, he didn't need it. He got a triple. Palmer, Rose smacks this one into the corner in left field. Chasing it is Warren Cromartie. Bounces back out towards center. Gets it just before Dawson gets to it, and Moreland scores. Rose comes around well ahead of the throw. RBI triple for Pete Rose, and that's going to be 1-0 Philadelphia. As we put it up on the Tabletop Sports Delaware live scoreboard, as I just called it that. Larry Boa. 2 out, man on 3rd. Phillies have a run lead, 1-0 over the Expos. Top of the 5th, 3-5, and that's a base hit, and that will score Rose. So that is 2-0 Phillies. And it goes back over here. 2-0 Philadelphia. Boa on 1st. Bake McBride comes up to the plate. David Palmer glances over to Boa to keep him on. It's 2 outs. He's probably not being told to steal. McBride takes the pitch. 3-6, and that's going to be a hard liner up the middle. Rodney Scott, diving catch. Gets Palmer out of a potentially bigger inning. However, he does get tagged for 2 runs. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 4.5 in the books. This game is official. And your score is 2-0 Philadelphia Phillies here at Olympic Stadium over the Expos. Dickie Noles comes out. And yes, I will be no good. I know what's going on. Warren Cromartie at the plate. Noles with the pitch. 4, 8, and that didn't last for long. That's a double. Warren Cromartie cruises into second base. First hit given up by Noles. He went 4. Rodney Scott to the plate. 2, 6, and that is a single for Scott. And Perez is going to hold at third. No, oh my goodness. Did I really just do that? That was a 2-6. 2-6 for Tony Perez as a strikeout. I am sorry. God bless. I've almost done that a few times in this project. However, caught it that time. So, we're able to redact it. That is a strikeout. Tony Perez, 1 away. And that just rolled. No, that was the same thing. 2-6 here. Ground ball to third. So that is going to be a 5-3 ground ball from Mike Schmidt over to Pete Rose for out number 2. Ah, goodness. I think I got the first at bat right. Not sure. But that's that. Yeah, because it was a 20. That's a 5. It was the same roll, different D10, D20. All right. Ellis Valentine comes to the plate. 2 outs. Oh, well, oh, wow. Noles still has it going. Ellis Valentine, 1-3. After the game, I'm going to have to go back and make sure about Perez's at bat. 1-3 hard grounder hit to second base, and that's going to be Bud Harrelson. Gets it over to Pete Rose for out number 3. No runs scored by the Expos in the bottom of the 5th. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to make sure of this because if this does go to that end, it's got to be legit. It may show it here, but if it's not for real, I'm not going to count it. I don't care. One hitters are great, but Mike Schmidt, yeah, I know, here I am talking. More hope than anything else. It won't happen. Schmidt is set. Palmer is on the mound. 2-0 Phillies, top of the 6th. Here we go, 2-5, and that is a walk for Schmidt. Yes, it is actually Mike Schmidt. Greg Gross comes up to the plate. Palmer with the pitch, 1-7, and that is a single for Gross. Schmidt is going to round second. He'll get into third. Men at the corners, nobody out. Expos infield in for John Poff. 5-9, strikes him out. And the infield gets set back to normal defensive depth. Keith Moreland. 2-5, misses that split. Hard liner to left, and Larry Parrish is there. His 4th time spearing a line drive. Warren Cromartie is out there, and he's like patting his chest like he's breathing hard. Flashes a grin in towards Parrish. That's going to bring Bud Harrelson to the plate. He's drawn a walk and flown to left. Palmer with the pitch. 5-4. Catcher's card X. That will be Tamargo. 4 with a 6, and it's a Chugler down the line. Tamargo is chasing it. Harrelson on his horse. Tamargo comes up with it, fires it right past his ear to Tony Perez for out number 3. That's 2-3. And that is 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Dickie Noles. He's faced 15. He's not set down 15 in a row, but you know what I'm saying. Larry Parrish to the plate. It is Larry Parrish. Yes, 4-9. Fly ball to right field. This one is back. Bate McBride is there, makes the catch. Out number 1, Chris Spire to the plate. Here comes the pitch. 5-10. Fly ball to center. This one is in Greg Gross territory. Nabs that one, makes it 2, and Dave Palmer comes to the plate. He'll be facing towards the top of the order. I'm thinking, not sure. He's gone 6th. Not with 2 outs. Leave him in. Palmer at the plate. Noles with the pitch. 5-9 strikeout. It just keeps piling up, folks. I'm starting to wonder if this is going to be my second ever. I'll be disappointed next inning. I know it will. I know. Just keep hoping, Chris. You get one. And you've had it. Rube Benton, APBA game, 1919 Giants. Perfect game lost by an error by a shortstop with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Perfect game blown with an error. Alrighty, Dave Palmer facing Dickie Noles. Noles is going to stay in the game. He is going to bat. Palmer is going to pitch to him. 1-5 strikeout. That is out number 1. Dallas Green does not want to run a good thing going here. Pete Rose. Palmer with a pitch. 1-11 hard ground ball hit to second base. Rodney Scott comes up with it, gets it over to Perez for out number 2. 2 away here in the top of the 7th. The Phillies are leading the Expos by a score of 2-0 here in Olympic Stadium. Expos are 93-64, half a game behind the Pirates. Here comes the pitch to Larry Boa, 4-8, and that's another strikeout for Palmer. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that ends the 7th. We go to the bottom of the bracket at the old ball game. Dickie Noles. And then I dropped somebody's card all the way down there. Pardon my Stargel Stars. Boomity, boomity. That's a 1. Okay. Dickie Noles on the bump in the 7th, facing the Expos. Top of the order, Warren Cromartie. Here comes the pitch. Cromartie digs in. 2-8. In the middle of all those hits, a line drive to Pete Rose. Makes the grab, out number 1. Okay. Now this game's messing with me. Making me think that it's destined. I know it's not, because someone's going to get a hit. Rodney Scott is set. Here comes the pitch. 3, 4, and there's a walk. Second of the game. Second for Scott. He is on first. He's going to succeed in stealing second this time. Does so. Rodney Scott 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. On second base, Andre Dawson to the plate, facing Dickie Noles. 1-7, and that is going to be a single. That is Noles' first hit, and that is going to score Rodney Scott. And the Expos have 1 on the board, and they are going to go ahead and call it for Dickie Noles. Right there. The only reason I left him in was because of all that stuff. Alright, Dickie Noles is being called out of this game. So let us see. That's not where the mark... Yeah, it is where the mark goes. Dirt. Dickie Noles goes 6 1/3. Gives up 1 hit. 1 run. He's responsible for another. We'll leave that out there. Strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4. He struck out 4 and walked 2. Impressive start for Noles here at the end of the season. Who are we going to bring in to pitch? I'm looking at Kevin Saucer. Bring him in. Phillies don't have the most vaunted of bullpens. Another card I had to create. I did them a long time ago for some other project, and I used whiteout, and Noles' card looked a lot neater. This one looks ugly. You've probably seen it already, but that's what we got. So I was in a hurry to do it. Those are walks over there. Done in blue ink. Can't really see them that well. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and... Bottom of the 7th, your score is 2-1 Philadelphia here at Olympic Stadium. Kevin Saucer comes in to face Tony Perez. Dawson on first, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th, 1-run ball game. Foul ball, re-roll them all. 0-1 to Perez. 5-7. That's going to be a ground ball hit to short. Boa is a 1, and he scoops that up. He gets it to second. Bud Harrelson to get Dawson onto Rose, and that is a 6-4-3 double play to get the Phillies out of the inning. 6-4-3 for those of you scoring at home, and if you're not scoring at home, you should be. Yes, suspect. Alrighty, that is it. Let's go to the 8th. Only 1 earned run for Dickie Noles. That's a good start right there. 6 1/3, 1 hit, 2 walks, struck out 4, gave up 1 run. That's a good start. Dave Palmer coming in for now, but he's on a short leash. Dickie Williams, he's got some guys up in the bullpen. I see Sosa starting to warm up. Looks like Fryman has been pitching for a little bit. We see the order of things here. McBride to the plate. Palmer with the pitch. 2-11. Ground ball hit to second base. That's Rodney Scott. Gets it over to Tony Perez. 1 away. Mike Schmidt. Palmer with the pitch. 2-8. Strikes him out. Number 7. And Palmer just might stay in this game. Greg Gross. Expos bullpen doesn't need a rest because everybody's available. Gross is set. Here comes the pitch from Palmer. 1-4. Hard liner to right. No, Perez gets his glove on it. Phillies have been hitting it hard, and the Expos have been snagging them. That's 7 line drives. L5, 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 L4, L5, L3. 6 line drives. Palmer gets out of the 8th. 1, 2, 3. He's retired the last 9. We go to the bottom of the inning. Expos looking to get this going here. Phillies are going to have another pitching change, I believe. What are they going to bring in? We're looking at Ron Reed. The saucer comes out. Ron Reed will come in. New pitcher here. He went 0.2. Blap, blap, blap. Ron Reed. And he will face Tamargo, Ellis Valentine, and Larry Parrish in this inning. Set Reed's card right there. Tamargo, leadoff batter for the Expos here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 ball game. Philadelphia Phillies lead the Montreal Expos here in Olympic Stadium. 2 games left in this series, and that's all that remains of the season. Expos are behind the Pirates by half a game. 3-3. Hard grounder hit to third. Fielded there by Mike Schmidt. Gets it over to Rose for out number 1. Ellis Valentine to the plate. Reed with the pitch. 4-7, and Valentine loops a single. Right into left center, right over Boa's head. That is going to be 1 out, 1 on. Tying run on first. Larry Parrish is the go-ahead run at home plate. Ron Reed is set. Here comes the pitch. 5-8. Hard grounder hit to short. That's going to be Boa. 1, 2. And he's going to scoop that up. He's going to get it to Harrelson in time for Valentine. On to Rose. And 6-4-3 gets the Phillies out of another one. 2 inning-ending double plays in a row. The Expos are not looking to be in great shape here. We go to the top of the 9th. 2-1. Montreal. And we are going to see... we're going to see Elias Sosa come in. Elias Sosa come in. Yeah, it's going to be it for Palmer. It's bottom of the order coming up, though. Leave Palmer in. Leave Palmer in. Bottom of the order coming up. John Poff, 105 batter. They're going to pinch hit for Poff. No, they're not. It's the team in the lead. Yeah, they're going to pinch hit for Poff. And they're going to bring in... better defense, if nothing else. Del Unser. Unser will pinch hit for Poff. That goes there. That goes there. Let me make my changes. Pinch hit, but he will play left field at a 3. He's an 11D. Facing David Palmer. The windup, the pitch, 6-10, fly ball to center field. That is back. Andre Dawson. And gets in there for a single, and Dawson with a really bad throw. That's going to let Unser advance to second. Scorekeepers are crediting him with a single, and that is an E8. Boffo Dawson. Bad Dawson. Alrighty, nobody out. Unser is on second. Keith Moreland comes to the plate. Palmer is set. Here comes the pitch. That is a 6-3 hard grounder hit to first. That is going to be Perez. He is a 4 with a 15, and that's an error by Perez. E3, that is going to get Unser to third. Boffo Perez, bad Perez. This is where the bad things happen. They had 3 errors in this game. Maybe this is how it happened. Bud Harrelson to the plate, men at the corners, and Palmer's coming out. It's not his fault, however, it can affect a pitcher, and I just see the need to get a fresh body in there. We're bringing in Woody Fryman. Yeah, get Palmer out. Don't let him go down any worse with this ship. 8 innings. Woody Fryman coming in. He struck out 7. We got that easily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. No homers. 2 runs given, both earned. There may be more. He has he's got 1 responsibility. This cannot be an earned run. Let's see. And walks. 1, 2, 3. 3 walks. Alrighty. Woody Fryman is set. Infield in for the Expos. Harrelson at the plate. 6-7. High on the split. That is a single for Harrelson, which is going to score Del Unser, but that's not an earned run yet. Before another out or error is made, there needs to be 2 more bases worth of hit or walks. Otherwise, non-error plays could not have scored him. We have reached the pitcher. We're going to have a pinch hitter come in for the Phillies. And we're thinking a lot of low average guys who just came in and filled in defensively, I'm guessing. Let's see Mike Anderson come in. Not a card I made, but he had some playing time. Mike Anderson. Pinch hitter. He is assigned a 13C by me. 2 on, first and second, nobody out. Your score is now 3-1. Philadelphia Phillies over the Montreal Expos. Here we go. Top of the 9th. Mike Anderson facing Woody Fryman. Here's the pitch. 4-8, and that is going to be a single for Mike Anderson. That is going to score Keith Moreland. Unearned run. RBI. That will send Harrelson to third. Men at the corners. Nobody out. Pete Rose to the plate. And if he can get a base hit or a walk, then that will be an earned run on Palmer. Here we go. 3-7. That's a walk. So that's going to fill the bases. Nobody out. Palmer does have 3 earned runs. And we've got Larry Boa coming up to the plate. Infield is in for Montreal again. Woody Fryman trying to get out of trouble for 8. And that is going to be low on the split. But that is a single for Larry Boa. And that is going to send Pete Rose to third. However, Bud Harrelson scores. And Mike Anderson scores now, and those are earned runs. We haven't had another error or out, so it's still just the 2. Those are earned runs. Alrighty, that's going to bring us a nobody out. Runners at the corners again. Infield in for Montreal again. Bake McBride to the plate. 1-11. Fly ball to center field. That one hit deeply. Andre Dawson on his horse makes the catch. Pete Rose tags up, and he'll come across and score another run for the Phillies. So they have scored 5 in this inning, proving to be a rather decisive inning. 7-1 is your score. Woody Fryman is going to come out. Only went a third. Gave up 3 hits, no homers. Gave up 3 runs. Gave up 5 runs, but 3 are earned for him. 1 walk, no strikeouts. Yeah, Woody Fryman, it's not working. At this point, this may well be it for the Expos for this game. So let's just get someone in there to get through this. And they bring in Rudy May. Starter. He's out of the rotation for the rest of the season. He's got relief on his card, and no reason why not. Rudy May is going to come in and try to get the Expos back to the bat as soon as possible. Nobody out, and the Ziploc baggie keeps sticking to my elbow. Rudy May facing Bake McBride. 1 out. Runner on first. 7-1. Philadelphia Phillies over the Expos. Top of the 9th. 6-7. And that is a single for Bake McBride. And Bo is going to hold at second. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Mike Schmidt to the plate. Rudy May. 2-9. Walks the bases loaded yet again. And we get to the 9th batter in the inning, Greg Gross. Singled his last time up. No, that's not the 9th batter of the... Oh, Del Unser. Shoot. We've gone through the lineup. Alrighty. So Del Unser, second at bat this inning. 1 out. Bases loaded. 7-1 Phillies. Here's the pitch. 3-2. Hard ground ball hit to second. Fielded by Rodney Scott. Gets it to Spire on the run. Fires it over to Perez. And the 4-6-3 finally gets the Expos back to the plate. 5 runs plated by the Phillies in the top of the 9th. 7-1. Expos have a lot of meat left on that bone. But it ain't over till it's over. He looks like a yogi. Ron Reed in to pitch the 9th for the Phillies. No, leave him. Save McGraw for when you need him. Ron Reed is set. Tamargo, nope, here we go, trying to do that whole thing again. Chris Spire. Here comes the pitch from Reed. 1-5. Hard grounder hit to short. Larry Boa scoops that up over to Pete Rose for out number 1. We are going to see a pinch hitter for Rudy May, as the Expos are forever hopeful. Who are the Expos going to bring in to perform said pinch hitting duties? Jerry White. He is a favorite for that. At least he's a favorite for me. Jerry White is going to come in. Let me pencil him in, or pen, as the case may be. Pinch hit 16B, going right there. Not too bad for the Phillies when the pitcher spot comes up with 1 out in the bottom of the ninth. That's a pretty good pitching outing by the entire team. Noles with the start. Fantastic work by Saucer and Reed. Here we go, Jerry White. 7-1 Phillies, bottom of the ninth. Ron Reed looks in, gets the signs from Keith Moreland. Jerry White digs in. Here's the pitch. 6-8 fly ball to center field. Greg Gross is underneath this one. Played hard and heavy in the first part of the game, and he gets one of the final 2 outs. That's going to bring us to Warren Cromartie, left fielder, back to the top of the order. And here we go. Ron Reed with the pitch. 6-11 fly ball to right field. McBride is a 2. He is back. He's going for it. He can't get to it. That is a double for Warren Cromartie. Extends the game for the Expos. Brings up Rodney Scott. Walked twice, scored a run, stole a base, caught another time. 2-5 single for Scott. Cromartie rounding third, needs a 16, and he's in there. Expos with another run. And they're going to bring Ron Reed out of the game right there. Not going to mess with it. We're going to take the win. And you're going to like it. Let's see. Who are they going to bring in? I'm not sure. I'm picturing a stout-looking boat. Maybe. I don't know. Tug. Reed went 1 2/3. Gave up 3 hits. No homers. 1 run. He still has responsibility on the base paths. No Ks or walks. And Tug McGraw is coming on, hopefully to set down one final batter. We shall see. Rodney Scott has batted, so it is Andre Dawson. He has an RBI single his last time up, 1 for 3. Tug McGraw gets the signs from Keith Moreland. He sets. He lowers his glove. Dawson digs in and wiggles. McGraw with the pitch. 6-11 hard hit ball to first. Rose. And that's an error by Rose. 1 base error. Boffo Rose. Bad Rose. And the Expos can't be set down yet. Tony Perez comes to the plate. No earned runs from this juncture on out, so that does mean that Reed only had the 1 earned run. That would have been out number 3 with the error. Tug McGraw, the pitch to Perez. 3-9, a single. And Rodney Scott needs a 19 to score. Does so on an 8. And the Expos are mounting a comeback. Tug McGraw now facing John Tamargo. And Tamargo is going to bat. He may not run. Let's see. Are the Expos going to go for this? What can we do? Pinch runner for Tony Perez is Dave Cash. Pinch runner. He is a 16B, so we will do it that way. It'll totally not make sense in just a second. Let me get rid of that little thing because it'll be in my way. Alrighty. Draw that line back down there. Got it. Okay. Dave Cash is on first. Pinch runner for Tony Perez. John Tamargo at the plate. Tug McGraw is set. Here comes the pitch. 3-5. A double for Tamargo. That's going to drive in Dawson. Dave Cash, rounding third, needs an 18 to score, gets the 20 roll off that 12, and that is going to be 2 RBI double for John Tamargo. Expos have scored 4 in this inning. They are coming back, all with 2 outs. 7, get that in the right place. 7-5 is your score here. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. And then double, single, error, single, double. And the Expos are charging back. Tug McGraw, Ellis Valentine. McGraw is going to come out of this game. Phillies are trying to find the pitcher that's going to work. Who have we got? Not a lot. Doug Bird's coming in. Put the good pitchers in, they do bad. Bring the bad pitchers in, they'll do great. He gave up, Tug McGraw gave up 2 hits, no homers. He gave up 3 runs, unearned. So none of them earned. Nothing there. Doug Bird looking to set the Expos down for once and for all. Ellis Valentine tying run at the plate. He's 1 for 3. Bird gets the signs from Moreland. Here comes the pitch. 4-5. Hard ground ball hits a second base. That one right at Bud Harrelson. Arcs it on over to Pete Rose. Out number 3. And Doug Bird is finally able to get this game over. Wow. The Phillies wouldn't stop scoring in the top of the ninth, and the Expos just would not die. One heck of a game. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Alrighty, that goes there, that goes there. Your final score. Let's move you over here. I need that much space. Your final score is 7-5. Who did I bring in? Doug Bird. 1/3 of an inning and got the out. Rudy May went 2/3, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk. Alrighty, so let's do some quick stats here and be done with this. 1 error by Philadelphia, 2 errors by Montreal. And one of the errors played into some of the runs. The error by Pete Rose played into the runs. The 2 errors started that 5-run inning. So yeah, those errors definitely made the difference in this game. Alrighty, so we have hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits for Montreal. And 6. And 2 errors. And for the Phillies, we have 6, 10 hits, no homers, 1 error. So the Phillies with 10 and 1. No, it doesn't go there. 10 and 1. What are we doing? Put it where it's supposed to go. Thank you very much. Alrighty, there we go. Our final line. Yeah, right there. And I know who our player of the game is going to be. It's got to be Dickie Noles. Need go no further. Player of the game, Dickie Noles. For that starting job and holding them for that long. 2-1, he gave it up. He had the win. Doug Bird with the save, a bunch of holds, and Dave Palmer with the loss in 8 innings. Alrighty, I need to get going, so we'll do stats another time, or I'll have them here, or whatever, you know. But yeah, that's it. Definitely some top lines for the Phillies. Not a lot of top lines. Nobody had more than a single hit. Only one, Larry Boa. 2 for 5, singles in his third and fifth at bats, and 3 RBI. So Larry Boa with a good batting performance. Pete Rose scored 2 runs, one on a walk, one on after an RBI triple. For the Expos, the only shining spot, really, Rodney Scott, 1 for 2, scored 2 runs, 2 walks, RBI single, stole a base, got caught. John Tamargo with that double that really made it interesting there in that last inning. 1 for 4, 2 RBI double. Not a lot of offense, a lot of good pitching. David Palmer, the losing pitcher for the Expos, 8 innings, gave up 6 hits and 3 walks, struck out 7, gave up 2 runs, 3 earned runs. And the winning pitcher, Dickie Noles, went 6 1/3, gave up only 1 hit and 2 walks, struck out 4, and gave up 1 earned run. Guys, that is it. Your final score: Philadelphia Phillies 7, Montreal Expos 5. The Expos dropped to 93 and 65 with 2 games to go, or a game and a half or so behind the Pirates. Let's see if the Cubs can help them out at Three Rivers. Guys, this is Chris, Tabletop Sports Delaware. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you're enjoying this project as much as I am. Keep on rolling, guys.